Hello, beautiful light family. I'm Auriel and this is Shane, and we're coming here today from beautiful Sedona. The energy here is just amazing, along with the beautiful energy of the portal of the 1111. And I really wanted to say almost aloha because this is what it really feels like here for me, that it's like an island, and we're in this beautiful, feels to me like the new earth energies here, and I feel very blessed and grateful to be here and to be with Shane here and to do our work here to serve all of you, to serve Gaia. So today we would like to talk to you about our feelings and our vision about the 1111 portal, and how that relates to going into the energies later this week into the 1116 and the 1117.
And the full moon.
And the full moon, that's right, on 1114,
Yeah.
right? And the full moon is the second super moon this year, and it is very, very close to the Earth at this time. I don't know exactly how far away it is off the top of my head, but it won't be this close until in the 2030 sometime. And Shane, maybe you could talk a little bit about also the symbolism of the moon being so close too, as far as what else is going on with humanity at this time,
Yeah.
along with all the other things we want to talk about. But could you talk? We're going to talk about the 1111 portal and how it relates to this uh, November 16th and 17th star archetype. And Shane, could you perhaps begin with that and explain to everybody what that energy is that we're going
Yeah.
into, that we are in right now?
Well, I haven't looked, but we do know that the sun is in the Libra constellation now. So the full moon, that means the full moon will be in the Aries constellation. So that makes a lot of sense. But we'll look on Stellarium and take a snapshot for everybody. 11, the number 11 represents justice, right? Libra, cosmic justice. 16 represents the tower, and 17 represents the star. We're getting 16 from the year 2016, but also 1116 is 16 as well. But 11, 17, 16 equals 44. And 44 is 4 times 4 equals 16. And 16, there are 16 building blocks that create or that manifest the three-dimensional reality, which is pretty interesting. And of course, the 17th particle is the God's particle. Or the God particle, the Higgs boson particle. 16 is the tower, and 17 is the star. And so the energies here deal with justice, the balancing of the scales. The tower represents all the ideas and beliefs and foundations and religions, theories, philosophies, everything that's been built up over millennia, generation after generation. And of course, it's called the tower. And 17 represents the star, hope, and most importantly, imagination.
So, that being said, this week has been pretty profound with this energy of the elections and going into the 1111 portal, the full moon, and the archetype energy of 16 and 17. So, how this translates to what's going on this week is that, this tower of the 2016 representation is this tower of the old regime of how things have been for millennia, with governments, and with really humanity being enslaved, is all
Economic systems,
economic
political
system,
systems.
all of it is really starting. It is crumbling down, and the representation of the president-elect Trump is, well, first of all, the evening of the elections was pretty mind-blowing for a lot of people because many people didn't expect the outcome of what came out of it. And there was a very big energetic shift that occurred that evening, and that is actually when the 1111 portal opened up.
Yeah.
And that is when it shifted to Trump being in the lead. And if we look at this from a higher perspective, is that this is the moment when the collective humanity chose the path of the star, actually, and of this tower coming down, the old regime, and the chaos and the resistance and rebellion that's going on right now is actually a pretty amazing thing that's happening, even though from an illusionary, obscured way of looking at it, uh, it's not very pleasant, and it's creating a lot of fear amongst people and uncertainty. But if we can look at the higher perspective of what's going on now, the tower is coming down of the old regime of 2016, of humanity way back for eons, is coming down, and we are actually moving into the star of a beautiful future, heaven on earth. And we as we pass through the chaos right now, um, the chaos is actually stirring up something very deep within the core of humanity, of the essence of each human, of their heart and of their psyche. And it's this innate feeling of freedom and imagination and vision and creativity. And so as we pass through all this chaos, it's all coming to the surface, it's all being released from the earth plane. It creates a blank uh, slate, or you could say a white blank canvas for all of us to create and to imagine the world that we want to be living in. And it's happening.
Yes. So 16, the tower is ruled by Mars. Mars is all about willpower. Um, it's Mars rules Aries, so the warrior on the chariot, so to speak. Also, Mars represents the challenge, and 17 is ruled by Aquarius and the planet Uranus, and Uranus is about the rebellion, or I just like the term rebellion.
Mm.
The protest, and the the transition from 16 to 17 is really interesting in that it really does represent the Aquarius emptying the water vessel, the water urn, and actually two of them, but the outpouring of oneself out onto, well, one urn goes into the land, which, so the outpouring, a part of the outpouring of ourselves goes onto land, the earthy part of ourselves, and the other goes out into the water, the emotional part of ourselves. So the process of the tower coming down and letting go is highly emotional and highly conducive with Earth. So in other words, Earth energies become volatile and um, maybe a little bit imbalanced at times, geologically speaking.
Mm-hmm. And speaking on that, as I'd brought up before about the moon being so close, could you explain, in relation to the the symbolism of the moon and how that's relating to also what's going on the planet right now too
Sure. So
during this week?
it's interesting that the full moon will be in the Aries constellation,
Mm-hmm.
but also a full moon basically represents the Earth being in the center, and of course the sun being on one side and the moon being on the opposite side. That's what makes the moon full, a new moon, the moon is blocking the sun, so the moon is right with the sun. So basically, a full moon, the moon being the mind, illuminates our shadow.
Mm.
That part of ourselves, or that part of the collective that um, is darker or hidden,
Mm-hmm.
and it the full moon exposes it to everybody. So it basically exposes this it all actually brings the subconscious to the realm of the conscious.
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty profound, because the the uh, the behavior, if you want to call it, of, of, of many people, of the rebellion, of resistance right now, is really that subconscious, that deep, innate, uh, feelings of not wanting things to be the way as they were, status quo, but moving into a new energy of freedom and prosperity and love and harmony. Um, it's being, that's what humanity is wanting, but the deep subconscious is actually, um, is really like purging, I guess you could
Yes.
say, right? Purging um, the earth plane of all the past, of all the old.
So yes. So as this process is the election,
Mm-hmm.
and then 11/16 to 11/17. Of course, 11/14, the full moon.
Mm.
The sun, our soul, is in Libra,
Mm.
right? So we're weighing, our soul is weighing, you know, the light and the dark, or the
Mm-hmm.
duality.
Mm.
And then the moon um, is full in Aries.
Mm-hmm.
So what's being brought to the surface regarding our subconscious or our unconscious is that part of us that we seem to have forgot about, the
Mm.
leader, the
Mm-hmm.
taking action,
Mm-hmm.
I just, the taking action is the most important point here.
Right, which I think that is happening right now. I
Well,
mean,
it's
right?
happening with these protests and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
it's going to take millions of people.
Right,
It's going to take
right,
millions of people to march in New York.
right. But
At the same time, millions of people in Chicago.
we don't know that won't happen either.
It will happen.
Yeah. But just talking about that, I was looking at a little clip, and I've seen so many young people getting out and protesting and taking action, and it's just really refreshing to see that. Not that I'm an advocate on um, disharmony, or that kind of protesting, but looking at it from a higher perspective, it's 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 bringing things to the surface. It's really it's we're purging. Humanity is purging right now the energies, and Trump is really, he's, a lot of times we've called presidents sort of puppets, that they don't really have a say, and that they're run by the elite and the Illuminati and all that. And the way that I see Trump is that he's really, I like to give it a little bit more class and call it a marionette, that he's a marionette of humanity and not of the elite, and that he is, perhaps his higher self is really, you know, knows exactly what he's doing on, for the good of humanity, but yet he's acting out in a way that is really like discordant and disruptive and ugly to a lot of people. But the higher perspective is that really he is stirring up the deepest part of humanity, the deepest core of individuals' heart and psyche, and of what we what we represent, what we are, we're love, and
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 it stirs the waters,
yeah,
and
stars.
the
Mm-hmm.
waters are the Piscean waters of the Piscean age.
Mm-hmm.
Neptune rules Pisces, and Poseidon
Mm-hmm.
is Neptune, and
Mhm.
the trident,
Right.
yeah,
Yep.
and Neptune / Poseidon takes the trident and stirs the water by tapping into the emotional energy,
Mhm.
and and lighting a fire into it, so to
Mhm.
speak.
Yeah. So, getting back to this week, um, you know, we are this is an opportunity really where we see that the energies of the 1111, we have this big portal opening right now. So many of are beginning to awaken.
The four
They're really,
powers.
yeah, it's huge. It's bigger than it's ever been that anyone could have imagined. And we have this magical power within us that we can actually create through imagination and through this incredible energy that's assisting us, that we can actually um, use it, add it towards this doorway that we're opening up as a collective on November 16th and 17th, of and assisting this tower to come down further and further to ground zero, and where we can actually harness, or uh, we can assist the star to be born.
Yes.
So I'd like to just add to that, because of so many people awakening at such a profound speed um, with what's going on, that there's many that will need assistance, that won't really understand, and that are coming from a place of fear.
And they need to be guided. and
Yes.
and so what's interesting about the star, the archetype 17, is that mariners still today use the stars
Hmm.
to guide the vessel,
Hmm.
but especially the ancients, the
Hmm.
Phoenicians, the
Hmm.
the
Right.
Nordics, seafaring cultures, would use the star or the stars
Hmm.
to guide. So the energy of the star is in Aquarius, because
Hmm.
Aquarius rules the star, is about guiding,
Hmm.
humanitarian. We all are going to become humanitarians
Hmm.
in our own rights
Hmm.
together.
Yes. And so that representation of the star is really this beacon, that we can be the light workers, the ones that are here, the way showers. We are here to illuminate, to hold the light, to guide those that will need assistance through all of this. Um, so it's very important that we not get caught up in the story of what's going on right now, and that we really, are very conscious and mindful about our thoughts and our feelings and our actions, because this vibratory state needs to be very strong, and it needs to be used to help others that are not in this state, that are not, conscious of their thoughts, feelings, and actions. So we're just here also just to really encourage you uh, to hold on and be strong and focus, and don't be caught up by the obscure delusion at this point.
Yeah. So speaking of illusion, that's part of the lesson of 16, the
Hmm.
tower.
Hmm.
Um, when we uh, archaeologists or anthropologists will dig down several hundred feet and
Hmm.
find a dinosaur bone and shells, and we realize that 100 million years ago, even a million years ago, there were shallow oceans where right
Hmm.
now it's a desert.
Hmm.
So the illusion is that the way that things are right now and appear one day will be completely different,
Hmm.
and all this that we're going through right now will one day be completely different, and that includes the towers that we build politically, economically, this
Hmm.
silly system that we still follow,
Hmm.
humanity, with borders and states and countries and races and classes, and some people have, the haves and have-nots, and
Hmm. Yeah, and it's all about uniting now,
yes,
uniting through all the dross and illusion, and being able to really hold the vision, and trust in the vision too.
and I wanted to ask Ariel about this
Hmm.
because 17, the transition between archetype 17 and 18 is about the event,
Hmm.
and I wanted to ask you about what you felt about the event. Is there an event coming that we can look forward to, or that we should be mindful of?
Well, I mean, you and I have been talking about 2017, that we do feel that there will be some event, and I'm not really sure exactly how that's going to
It's
play
a
out,
mystery.
but it's a mystery. But in my heart, I feel like there will be some kind of event, and it's not one to be in fear of. That it's beautiful, and we are working on something right now, um, a very powerful work right now that we will be sharing with you, hopefully in a month or so,
We're
within the
close.
month. And Shane and I are,
Well, let's.
mm,
I
mm,
just want to
yeah,
expound more on what you're saying.
mm,
Um, okay, so what archetypal energy would help the process of Aquarius come to be, the age of Aquarius? When we talk about what that means, right? The
mm-hmm,
humanitarian.
mm-hmm, right,
Well, what what energy would propel us into becoming humanitarians? And that's what's so interesting about the energy of the tower.
mm-hmm,
When the tower falls,
mm,
then people have to come together,
right,
right?
yes. Well, the
Because it's not
energies,
about, well, we all got to
mm,
go to work, or we got to go all do
right,
this because we got to make money or something. It's going to be an event that brings humanity together.
right. Yeah, whatever the event is, it's going to bring us to our knees, in love, kindness, compassion for all living beings here. And I know a lot of us are already there, but it's going to bring the megacosm to
Yes.
their knees. And I've felt for a long time that this is probably the only way that it will happen here, but I'm open to to however it happens. But it is going to be, um, something that's going to bring us to our knees.
Yes, the trans the archetype 16,
Hmm.
17, and 18, those three signal and signify the event.
Hmm.
The event in a cycle of existence, and the cycle of existence we're talking about right now could be viewed as 25,920 year cycle,
Hmm.
26,000 years, or it could be looked at as 2,160 years.
Hmm.
The amount of time it takes to go through one astrological zodiac.
Hmm.
But either way, that's what the 16, 17, and 18 represent, and
Hmm.
we are right in the middle of that transition now.
Right. And we stand in a place of positivity, hope, uh, love, and uh, we deeply feel that this event is a positive event, no matter how it plays out on the earth plane. um, it's a mystery, but it's going to be something more beautiful than you could ever imagine,
Yes.
ever imagine.
Mm,
um,
beautiful.
yeah, so uh, with all that being said, we'd love to let you know that we love you very much,
Yeah.
and to be strong, be trusting, um, and focus on your mission. Don't be distracted, and we look forward to future chats with you here,
Yeah.
and also that we're here to serve you as well too. So if there's anything that you need from us, if we can help you in any way, please feel free to message us on Facebook, and we hope that you continue to follow our writing. And the event that's up right now, currently, it's called the 1111 Humanities Doorway through the 1117 timeline.
Yeah,
So if you're
basically
interested,
using the energy of 1111 to kind of like a key,
yes, to open the door to move
to the
through
timeline, 1117
of
timeline.
1117, right?
And then I would just like to close with,
Yes.
speaking about the age of Aquarius,
Mm-hmm.
the opposite polarity of Aquarius is Leo. And we've been talking a lot about Leo. In fact, Auriel just changed her profile picture to a lioness, which is very timely.
Mm-hmm.
So the key, the zodiac key or the astrological key to Aquarius is the lion, is Leo. And the positive traits that we want to take out of that or to extract from Leo the lion in order to instigate and provoke the age of Aquarius is, we've talked about it with Aries, action, courage, inner strength, and agape love, the highest form of love that there is.
Yes.
The shadow parts of the lion, Leo, are those things that are coming down with the tower. False ego, lust, the lust being, that everything is based on the physical world, and that's what everything's about. Um, coming down with the tower. Also, if we remember the Wizard of Oz with the lion, Leo is, the fear, overcoming fear, and also, and maybe most importantly, with the positive, the positive light aspects of the lion, the courage, the strength, and the agape love is coming out from the masses,
Yes.
like we are now,
Yes.
and joining with others, and making ourselves known.
Yep. If there's one thing, I had a little message when I was sleeping one night, and I'd asked the day before, you know, how can I serve, and I was awakened very early in the morning to a being telling me simply, just be kind. And when I woke up and I thought, like, wow, that's so simple but so profound. And really, that's, if we could just use that one, characteristic on how we behave with one another, with everything, with everything, not just people, humanity, but with nature, everything is just to be kind. So that's big, simple
Yes.
but huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the big heart of the lion.
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So thank you for spending your time with us. It's a beautiful day today. Please enjoy these energies, and if there's anything we can do for you, please feel free to message us. We're here for you. We love you very much.
We love you, yeah, and honor the light within you.
Yes, we do. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.